moving the question answer session towards Russia, because the conflict is being talked about across the world. First, how much has the conflict, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, has impacted your country? And secondly, will you be keen to buy Russian energy, Russian crude oil at a discounted rate?
Yeah, first of all, I'll answer your first question. We have been disproportionately affected by the Russian conflict. So we pray and we urge everybody to quickly and diplomatically and by dialogue to resolve this. We have been affected big time in terms of petroleum prices, the crude oil prices, the prices of coal, and the prices of grain, and also the escalating prices of fertilizer. So these are lifeline for our people. We are basically 33% of Sri Lankans involved in agriculture. So we have been disproportionately affected when the prices gone up in the market, and with our depreciating rupee, the prices have gone 4-5 times of some of those things. So it has been really, really difficult for the Sri Lankans. On top of that, Russia and Ukraine both have been among our first 10 countries in terms of tourists coming to Sri Lanka, and our export destination are products like tea. So that's a huge problem for us. It has really affected us, and that has affected other countries, and the economies have slowed down. So we are disproportionately affected by this conflict. There are no two words about it. But going forward, yes, if there is a way to deal with the Russian oil, why not? We want to. And actually, the kind of prices escalation, it's unaffordable for us. As our president once put it, when the elephants fight, it is the grass which gets trampled. Small countries like us get disproportionately trampled by this kind of an issues which is taking place in the world. So therefore, at the discounted prices, without violating international norms and the laws, we would want to work with the Russians, because Russia also, we have had good relationship for a long period of time. And I understand discounted pricing is not a problem for many other countries, because no one wants Russian oil to be out of the market. The moment the Russian oil goes out of the market, there will be a scarcity, and that will probably shoot up the prices, and that will create economic upheaval in terms of a recession or something of that sort. So I don't think anyone wants that.
Have you spoken to Russia on this matter regarding import of crude oil, or regarding India as well? Since India has been importing Russian crude oil, have you suggested or spoken to the Indian side over how this mechanism works?
We have had several rounds of discussions. Yes, we are pursuing that options. We are keeping that option open, either directly or through India.
Several rounds of discussion with Moscow or with New Delhi, sir?
With basically Moscow.
Okay, sir. So now going to the domestic part, are we looking at elections anytime soon, given that that is something that was one of the key focus area during the protests, and of course the formation of the new government as well?
Not really. Actually, the president, in terms of our constitution, you can't have a presidential election before 4.5 years of the term is finished. So the term only comes to an end in 2024 November. So until such time, you cannot have a new election. So the president has to continue. Even if the sitting president resigns or leave, you need to go through the parliament and elect somebody for the rest of the term, which is exactly what happened in Sri Lanka in July this year. As far as the parliamentary election is concerned, 2.5 years you can't dissolve the parliament. That 2.5 years comes to an end in the end of March. But yet, the majority of the parliamentarians need to vote for that. So therefore, a simple majority must vote for that. There has to be a no confidence motion. So it's for the people, or it's for the members of the parliament to do so. Otherwise, there is no possibility. Because there is this certainty of term. People have been given a particular term to run, president a 5-year and the parliament a 5-year, and that period should take place in terms of the constitution.
So lastly, anything or any update on implementation of the 13th Amendment? And we know that India has at the United Nations Human Rights Council expressed concerns over the progress when it comes to the Tamil issue.
Yeah, right now, actually, we all want to have the provincial council election. It is provincial council election now cannot be held because of a particular bill which was brought in into the parliament in 2018 by then government, for which the TNA and the Tamil parties also voted. In terms of that particular voting, a new delimitation has to take place of the provinces, and which has not taken place, and there is some legal impediment on that. So it's actually their own doing, unfortunately, which we are, because that is at that time to prevent election, they did it, and as a result of suffering. But naturally, 13th Amendment should be implemented, and those powers which are there with them should be given to them, and the powers should be devolved to the people in the area, and in the people of the area should deal with their day-to-day activities with the people whom they have elected. So therefore, yes, the 10th Amendment should be implemented, and government is keen on implementing it. And yes, India had taken up that in different forums, including the Human Rights Commission.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION, and perhaps very soon we will be in Colombo and have more detailed conversation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.